Hey, welcome to Cruise Day Fun Live. It's great to have you with us here today, whether you're watching live or you're watching from the future. Another great day of cruise talk and topics, some great tips for you. We're really looking forward to it.
We are.
Yes.
Yay.
So today's topic is we're going to answer cruise questions. I've got some cruise questions that were mailed in clearly first class mail, and I will answer those. You'll answer them.
Sure.
We'll answer them together. We'll figure it out
Together.
So I think we'll have some interesting tips and some fun discussion there. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, and we are happy that you joined us here today. We do have to do something, a little bit of housework.
Yeah.
Reminder that next week, a week from today, is Saturday at 3 o'clock Eastern time is when we usually go live. That's
Yep. I was just saying 3 o'clock.
well, that's for Eastern time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then so Central is 2. Yeah. Anyway, so next Saturday is Christmas Eve.
Christmas Tommy this year.
Okay, that's good. So welcome to Charlie Brown Day Fun. And next Saturday is Christmas Eve, so we will not be going live. We will be with family, going up to Ohio to hang out and see friends and family, some of which we haven't seen in years. What are you doing? Okay. Anyway.
I didn't know if you would do the IO, so that's why I did.
No, that's not what we're doing. We're not.
That's why I did.
You're trying to upset any Michigan fans that are watching?
Oh, Michigan, you could handle it.
Let's move on. It's already getting controversial here. I was just trying to say that next Saturday we won't be live because we will be with family. We hope you're with family or doing something super awesome for Christmas Eve too.
You're with friends and family.
Yes.
Family and friends.
What's the following Saturday? The Saturday after that?
You'll be with friends. Because it'll be New Year's Eve.
Yes. The Saturday after Christmas Eve is December 31st, which is New Year's Eve. And
exactly.
We're planning on being back because we've got to do our year-end 2022 year in review. And we're going to share some thoughts.
2022.
And we're out of time. And we'll share some of our ideas of what we have planned for next year. So be sure to tune in 2 weeks. Saturday, the December 31st, New Year's Eve, at 3 o'clock Eastern time. We look forward to seeing you then. And before we do anything else, we gotta greet our visitors.
And give us a thumbs up if you like us. We appreciate you, even if you don't give us a thumbs up.
Get all that out of the way right now. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, today's trivia question is: which major cruise line's logo features a crown and an anchor?
Ooh, I know.
You're not supposed to answer it. Okay. I mean, if nobody answers it, then you can answer it. But if you're watching live and you know the answer, which major cruise line's logo features a crown and an anchor?
I know.
Put it in the chat. We'll see if you get it right. And if you're watching later on, you're watching from the future. Then put it in the comments after we tell the answer so everybody knows that you knew it.
That's right.
That's the way to do it.
That you were the trivia king or queen.
Trivia king or queen. Before we go any further, let's welcome in, and before we answer the question, let's welcome in. First to join our chat today was Graham. We got to welcome in Graham. Good to see you. Graham shared his thoughts on buying from the vendors in the Cozumel Harbor. He recommends doing your shopping at the duty-free shop.
Good advice.
Yeah. So
be safer too.
So we're already getting into questions and answers. I mean, that was an answer. If you have a question or you have an answer, get those prepared too. And let's see, Law Jones.
Hey,
in Ohio. Says, bring your coats. It's cold here in Ohio. That's what we've heard.
That was one of my goals today, is to find my winter coats.
How many?
Coat.
Yes. So Law Jones, we will definitely be prepared for that. Having lived in Minnesota, we do have coats. We just had to dig them up living in Florida now. And actually, it's supposed to get cold here. I think Christmas
know.
Eve or Christmas, they said it could get in the 30s, which is very unusual.
The 30s?
Yes.
I thought it was the
Yeah.
70s.
Let's watch the weather again later. But yes, in a lot of the country, it's going to be cold. Let's see who got the answer to the question right, or at least who got it first. The answer, you can't see the answers here, but
I think I know the answer.
okay. Well, okay. You hold on. Well, the first with the correct answer was Law Jones.
All right, way to go, Law Jones. She's on the ball.
What did Law Jones say?
Royal Caribbean.
That's right.
Yes.
Law.
Good job, Law
And
Jones.
Graham both said Royal Caribbean.
Good job, Graham.
Good job. Got that one right. Joy, you
Right.
got that one right too.
Right out of the gate.
What?
Right out of the gate.
Right out of the
We're
gate.
winning.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
So welcome to those of you who are playing along with the trivia and watching live. And hey, so now's the time, if you're watching the future, put in the comments what the answer is.
Yes.
Yes.
You'll look so smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Anyway, I wanted to mention, since it is, what is the date today?
Saturday, the 17th.
Is it?
It is.
All day long.
All,
Okay,
all
so-
day long.
So I'm not going to do the math now. I thought I was going to do the math, but that means there's only a couple weeks left when you can get the Cruise Day Fun merchandise that we've had for sale,
Mhm.
including these cute little mugs that Joy is modeling right now. I don't think
Mhm.
counts as modeling, but you're presenting it there.
Mhm.
So, and we got t-shirts and other things, and you
They
can
work
find,
too.
yeah, you can find those at our website, cruisedayfun.com.
That's right.
So that current merchandise is going away. I don't know. We're actually don't have any plans to add merchandise anytime soon, but someday we'll probably have it again. So if you want your merchandise,
Yeah.
last minute holiday gift, you check on the shipping. I'm not sure.
Get-
That might be a little
Get
tight,
them while
but
they're hot. Hot.
yeah.
Just like the sun in Cozumel. It's
boy.
hot.
Yeah, but watch out for the vendors.
Mhm.
Last day is December 31st. Last day of the year is the last day to order the current merchandise. So that's the last piece of housekeeping, right?
Right.
So should we move on to the next important thing?
Sure.
What's the next important thing?
The Cruise Heroes. We didn't get any Cruise Heroes.
Hold
so-
on, we didn't open the theme.
Oh. We didn't get any Cruise Heroes.
So we like to share each week somebody from a cruise that made your cruise extra special. Be it,
Extraordinary. Fantastic.
hey, at this point, would settle for somebody that didn't punch you in the gut. So,
Oh.
crew member, fellow passenger,
Mhm.
somebody on excursion, fellow passenger,
Somebody that
whoever
smiled
it
at
is
you,
that smiled at you. Yes,
told you to have a great day, brightened your day.
you could share that with us, and we'll share it. Just email us at info@cruisedayfun.com, and we could include them as a future cruise hero of the week.
That's right.
Thanks to those people who have nominated people in the past, and we've been nominating some of our own. But if we're going to keep this going, we need more nominations. So email us, or at least put it in the comments, and we will just let us know who it was, what ship, and what they did that made it special.
Yes.
And we'll feature them. We could possibly feature them right now. We don't have any, so you have a really good chance right now. It's a holiday lull.
It is.
So send them to us at info@cruisedayfun.com
That's right.
for their chance to be featured, and you to recognize that person
Yes.
on cruise.
You too could recognize somebody that has made your day more awesome. Cruise Hero next week.
No. When we play the music again, that means we're done.
Oh,
We're done. But I mean, we got a nomination. So
For next week.
it's in the chat. So I'm hoping I can retrieve that.
okay.
I will look for. Oh, I know who this is. Law recognized it before I was able to figure out who they're talking about. No, don't look. You know this person. Okay, you want to try to look and write it down?
No,
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay. So Graham, I need you to talk for a minute, Joy.
La 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 la.
No,
So what?
I need to write this
You're
down.
taking things from me. So what is your Christmas tradition or holiday tradition is your favorite thing to do every Christmas? Like for me, I like to make a cake, a Christmas cake.
I like to eat a cake.
So if I make a cake, I also have to make him a cake, and then if it's just for him, then I don't have to make another cake. But if it's for somebody else, I have to make a cake and a cake, so he can enjoy the cake too.
Yes.
Those are the rules in our house. If I make cake.
Uh-huh.
So going back to what is your favorite holiday tradition in your household that you like to do, whether it be baking wise, whether it be celebrating wise, whether it be making eggnog, spritzers, what do you like to do? Or can you make eggnog, spritzers?
Okay, so I was stalling so I could write down our cruise hero information for our next live show. So Graham, thank you for the nomination. We'll be sure to share that. And personally, I've got to agree. So that's a great nomination.
Yeah.
So you don't even know who it is.
I don't.
Just you're agreeing. Okay.
I just agree.
Now you were asking questions over and over, stalling while helping me so I could write with my Sharpie here.
So what were some of the responses?
Well, here I've got a response.
Okay.
And again, Graham, you might be up for MVP today because again, Graham comes to
he comes to play.
The what do they call it? The home plate to bat? I don't know what you call it. Graham has a tradition to share.
What is
steak
that?
Breakfast with potato scones. I don't think I've had a potato scone.
Ooh, potato scones
on Christmas morning.
That
is awesome.
That sounds really yummy.
That sounds like a great way to start your Christmas day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have some stones in your stomach.
Scones.
Oh,
do you think I said stones?
I thought they might make you feel full, heavy stones.
No.
Fill you up.
Graham was not saying that their tradition is to eat stones.
Well, I thought they were like another type of bakery item instead of scones.
You've had scones.
Yeah.
You've had scones.
I thought they were stones. So
okay. Wow.
like
so
a hard muffin in the shape of a round.
I'm trying to defend you here. Give me. Can I merge? Can I get on the road here?
Of course.
So just to be fair, I've got the computer over here off screen. I can see fairly well with my glasses what's being said on the screen, but she cannot see it very well. So
I'm blind.
What's not in front of you?
Well, I don't have my glasses on.
Do you want to sit on this side?
No,
then you
it's
can see
okay.
it. But
then I'd have to enlarge it a bit so I could read it. Anyways,
scones.
Potato scones.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So we need to get back on track. I think we may be seriously off track at this moment, but we've got to get on to our main topic for today. Our main topic is answering cruise questions. So sharing. What am I trying to say? Tips. That's the word. Oh boy.
Tips. What is in your cup?
It's water. It's holiday water.
Is it sparkling water?
Oh, it's more than sparkling.
Wink, wink, wink.
What is this?
I'm winking.
Very good.
That's me winking.
Very good. Okay. All right, guys, she's taken. So let's start with our cruise questions.
Cruise questions.
No, I have them. Why are you pretending? These are blank. She's pretending like she's got questions here. We don't have questions. I have the questions.
I want to also be involved. So I was like,
Joy.
Questions.
Joy.
Yes.
This is a very appropriate question for our first question.
Okay.
Tell the kind people.
Yes.
Everybody wants to know.
Yes.
What does a cruise director do?
They direct the cruise. They tell a cruise director tells you what's going to be happening next on that day of itinerary. So the cruise director gets on board and says, "Welcome, so-and-so people, to so-and-so cruise line. Today I am your cruise director, and these are the events that will happen in such and such order. First, we're going to have..."
No, don't list them all off. Did you have anything else they do, or would you like me to add to that?
They hype up activities that they want people to get excited about, such as such as
you don't need to list more stuff.
Okay.
But they don't just announce the activities. That's one thing they do.
They also look for participants.
Yes, I was going to say that they lead and participate at a high level at many of the activities. They might be, presenting a contest or hosting a show.
Yep.
But they're very active. You see them all over the ship, and like they might do a show first in the morning. They might do shows late at night.
They're very energetic and enthusiastic, and they try to get everybody involved.
Okay, I think we answered that question. Hopefully, that answered that question. If you guys have any questions, be free to put them in the chat or comments. Next question is, which dining time should I choose?
The best time that meets your schedule. So if you like to eat in the early time dining.
Okay.
If you like to eat later time dining. If you just want to eat whenever you want to eat, free time.
Okay, maybe we should just explain in case this is a little new to anybody or somebody's watching that hasn't cruised before. Most of the major cruise lines offer at the main dining room for dinner, they offer early and late dining times. So you go in at the same time, it's at the same table each night at an early time and at a later time. And some cruise lines also offer a flexible option, the your time dining or something like that. So my suggestion, typically what you want to do is if you have kids that you're going to want to include at dinner time, which, most families are going to want to dine together, you're probably going to, most families seem to do the earlier dining time, or you could do the flexible
early
option.
Dinner, early to bed. Parents can have some fun. No?
So for late dining time, you might want to do that if you're like not traveling with kids and you want to maybe find an option where there's not going to be as many kids. But the main thing you probably want to consider if you're going to choose early or late, a flexible dining time, that's kind of a different choice, is what do you have planned in the evening for activities? Because if you go with late dining time, you might be forced to go to really late shows or go to the earlier shows. So kind of check out the schedule. I don't know if that answered it very well. We like to do we do a lot of specialty dining, but we tend to sign up for the flexible your time dining.
Right.
Do I have to pay extra for food and drinks on board?
No, you don't. It depends on those drinks and food that you get.
Right. Okay.
So if you were just going to stick with the main dining room food and weren't going to get you didn't plan on buying any alcohol or alcoholic beverages, you're just going to stick to coffee, tea, and juice, then no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be paying extra. But
so before you finish that, I got to say hi to Grandma Bev. Grandma Bev has dropped in. Haven't seen you for a while. It's great to see you. Great YouTube channel you should check out if you haven't. Life with Grandma Bev.
She's awesome.
We're answering cruise questions, and you were just explaining how your options when it comes to paying for extra for food on board and drinks, and you were about to say, I think, how you might end up deciding you want to pay.
Right. So if you are like to drink alcoholic beverages when you're on vacation, then you may want to, if you are a regular drinker with alcohol, then you may want to get their alcohol beverage plan.
It might be worth it.
If you're like me, who drinks maybe once a week, if that, then you may just want to do the pay-as-you-go plan.
Yeah, and I think I commented on a recent video that the thing I think you should consider when it comes to these packages, drink packages, for example, in particular, actually, they might be a good deal if you're going to take advantage of them and get a lot of drinks, a lot of your spend less with a package than you would buying individual drinks, but you're going to be subject to more rules and restrictions about what you can order and how many you can order and how often, that sort of thing. So keep that in mind. If that sort of thing bothers you, you might want to keep that in mind. Next question is, how do I avoid getting seasick?
Oh, well, there's some very good known ways to avoid being seasick. I use the Dramamine. I use it as soon as I get on board, and I take it usually a half an hour before the ship starts moving or cruising, and then I take it throughout the whole cruise, and then I use it a week after I'm on dry land again to get my land legs back.
Okay.
Because just the part of not moving can cause you some kind of seasickness or land sickness.
You mentioned an over-the-counter type. I think there's some of the medication you get through your physician if you choose to do that. There's also we've never done it. That's not something I've ever suffered from personally, but there's a little patch that we see a lot of passengers have on their ear, and there's a bracelet. And if you're on a cruise and you haven't done any of those things, you're not prepared. A couple options we've heard is one, ginger ale. A lot of people like to drink ginger ale.
And green apples.
Green apples is what we keep hearing. Eat green apples. So if you're starting to feel a little queasy, or you're worried that you forgot your Dramamine at home, get some green apples from the buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they have it.
Well, yeah, you can't get it if they don't have it. But if they have it, you would get it.
Maybe if they go on a St. Patrick's Day cruise.
What does that mean?
They'd have green apples.
No, that's not. That's not.
No. I'm trying to help you people. I'm trying to help everybody.
Okay. My apologies to my Irish ancestors and all of Ireland with the green apple comment. She didn't mean anything by it.
No, I'm just trying to help everybody.
I don't think they bring up. Okay. Anyway, where is the ship's coin?
Ooh. I know it's is it somewhere that people can see where the coin is?
Usually
I thought it was buried in like the structure of the ship.
Nope.
Like in a beam or.
Oh, you're probably thinking that because what we're talking about, the question is about the coin that they typically lay. It's a ceremonial thing, a maritime tradition that when you do the keel laying ceremony, they put it on a coin. They use a coin. A lot of times they'll make a commemorative coin or just a regular coin. But what they'll do usually is at least on cruise ships, is they'll find a place to display it. So and
here's the question: is the coin valuable? Is it made out of gold?
You can't. So
no one's not going to purposely look for it to find a gold.
No, it's not like a treasure hunt. It's just like they'll display trophies and plaques and stuff inside near the bridge or in a common area.
So it's not worth to try and dig up the ship to find a coin.
Don't
do it.
Don't dig anywhere. It's usually when I've seen them before, they're usually on the Lido deck or an outside deck in a little case that's locked in. No, don't get ideas. Under glass, and you can see the coin.
I see.
I think we know who's not going to be bothering to find the coin on our next cruise. Where should I park?
In a parking ramp, preferably.
Is that the full answer? I was hoping to get at least a sip of water.
You can actually park in several different places if you want to know where to park. They have off-street parking from the ramps, and they usually cost a little bit. And sometimes you can park at the hotel that you're staying at, and they have where they will run a shuttle to the cruise port.
Yep.
Terminal.
Yep. There's also some hotels offer a service where if you stay at the hotel, then they will give you a ride to the port the next day, and you can leave your car at the hotel.
Yes.
So there's a lot of options. We're getting some other comments here that I've been neglecting here, so I want to bring those up. Law Jones mentioned that flying in a day before can also help to make you feel acclimated before your start. So that's a good tip.
Yeah.
Flying in the day before. We like to stay. Well, now that we live in Florida, it's a lot of times we just drive to the port. But when we flew in the past from Minnesota or from North Carolina, we would try to fly in at least the day before and stay for an extra day. So we're not trying to leave the day we get off the ship, right, and have something hopefully fun to do the day after.
Right.
And Graham said, more than a 4-hour flight, I would highly recommend flying in the day before if it's possible. You know, yeah, especially if you're around the holidays, or even in the wintertime. Like when we lived in Minnesota, flying. I mean, even if the weather was fine in Minnesota, there might be bad weather somewhere else in the country that would affect our
tornadoes
in the wintertime.
Storms. Well, we just had a hurricane.
Okay, I was talking about winter, but yes. So be sure you plan ahead so you can avoid those hurricanes. Right. Yep. And Grandma Bev says we always fly the day before. Don't trust the airline industry anymore. Helps cut down on the stress of getting there on time, to getting on board.
Well,
so yeah, I mean, you don't know. There's so many factors can intervene. So
weather plays a huge factor.
Yes, weather or not. How do I know what's going on?
Turn on the news.
No, specifically like when you're on the cruise ship. You turn on the news?
Well, you get these like some cruise ships have these apps that you can download onto your phone, and they give you, it's depending on the cruise line, it'll give you your daily itinerary on the app. Mm-hmm. And if you don't get it on the app, they can also send you a paper copy of it's like a newspaper of what's going to be happening.
So you're saying like the list of activities.
Right.
What's going on at different times, maybe even says where to eat.
Yes.
Maybe even tells you something like about a sale or something on board.
Sale or dress code or the theme night.
Important
have a white party or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, wear all the white clothes and dance and disco away or whatever. Yeah. And the apps, be sure it's I always recommend, if you're going on a cruise line you haven't been on before, you haven't used the app, download the app ahead of time so you have it. The apps a lot of times don't do much for you before you're on board, but once you're on board, you're going to want to have them so you can link into the Wi-Fi on board.
You can part the activities that you're going to do so your husband knows what you're doing or where you are.
You're talking about a specific cruise line now. I don't know if they all do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Some cruise lines have these cool apps that you can heart what you're doing so your other people in your party know what you're doing and where you are and all that jazz.
All that jazz.
Or if you want to go incognito, just get off the grid.
What are you
Don't participate in the app, is what I mean.
What do you think the app's going to track you? Oh, okay. Well, we're going down a dark road here. Speaking of dark roads, this next question's a little rough. All right, are you ready for a challenging one?
I am.
Okay, I want you to. You need to be serious about this one. Okay, put on your thinking cap and be serious.
Okay.
Picture you're on board and somebody asks you this question.
Okay.
Are there enough lifeboats?
Yes.
We answer that awfully quickly.
Yes.
How do you know?
Because the captain says so.
Okay, well, there you go. Thanks for tuning in.
When you go through the muster drill, they tell you, I think they tell you how many life jackets that there are and boats and stuff.
Okay.
So
you were paying attention more than I was.
Yeah.
Wow. I was just trying to figure out when we were going to get the hot dogs to put the mustard on. So, yes, there's international bodies or body, and the name escapes me at the moment, but they set requirements for how many lifeboats for with capacity they need to have for all their lifeboats for the passengers on board the size of the ship. And what I've learned really more recently is that a lot of the cruise ships, you see all those big red, orange, or yellow lifeboats on the side of the ship. There's actually more than just those. They actually have a lot of the ships, most of the ships, if not all the ships we've been on, you'll notice on the same deck where they have the lifeboats, they have these huge plastic capsule-looking things.
Yeah.
And those contain inflatable lifeboats. So they have sometimes even just as many of these extra lifeboats in addition to the ones that are hanging off the side. So they're prepared.
Isn't it part of the maritime law if they're going to build a ship that they have to build in as part of the ship how many extra tenders or little boats that they have available to save people?
That's what I said at the top of that's what yes, I couldn't agree more. Very well.
Okay.
And Law Jones says, speaking about the app we were talking about earlier, that Law Jones has heard the Princess app does track. And I think that might make sense because of the medallions and all that technology they have, that
Big Brother,
if they can find you, if they can know if you're at your door to get in the door, I guess they're tracking you somehow with the app or with a excuse me, with a medallion or something. But let's continue. Let's go on to the next question.
Yes.
We got through that one.
Whew.
So don't worry. From what I understand,
we're all safe. We're all alive.
Well, don't take our words for it. Good luck. But no, there should be enough life boats, so nobody has to float on a door with their boyfriend hanging off the side.
Oh,
What?
poor Rose.
Poor Rose. Rose survived.
I know, poor Jack.
Okay, we shouldn't be talking about
Anyways.
this. Why is the toilet so loud?
Oh, it's because of the air suction, because it go. It's doing that suctiony thing because there's no levity or gravity or what's it called?
It's the plumbing system on a cruise ship doesn't work the same as it does on land, where gravity,
there's no gravity to pull it down.
The stuff. This is getting weird. So yes, they're basically use electricity, and that's why if the ship loses electricity, the toilets won't work. Ooh. So that's bad. But they have there's a lot of pressure and a lot of, you said it, suction. So the toilets are loud. Yeah. So close that lid, push that toilet, and brace yourself because they will be loud. Wow.
Yeah.
Where are the life jackets?
There are life jackets. Usually they're found in your closet when you walk into your stateroom, or sometimes they're under the bed, or they will tell you when you go to the muster drill where your life jackets are. Or usually it's on the map on the back of your door. There's an escape route map, and it will say sometimes where your life jacket is located.
I think you started off strong, but I don't know. You kind of started creating this new reality. I definitely agree. Most of the time, the life jackets are in the closet in your cabin. If that's the case, it's a good idea to check when you first get on board. This is kind of your basic safety check. Know how to get to the nearest exit, that sort of thing, like you do in a hotel room.
Right.
But check to be sure you have an adequate number of life jackets there for the number of people in your room. But some ships we've been on, I forget which cruise line it was, but we were on a cruise line before where they said you don't bring life jackets. They have life jackets for you with the muster station.
Yeah.
Which I believe they have extras on all ships. But anyway, that's that question. So let's continue. Let's see. Okay. Law Jones commented on the lifeboats. I often wondered if there were enough. It doesn't seem like the hanging ones would cover everyone. Yeah, that's kind of what I wondered too. That's kind of why I explored and found out about the inflatable ones. So it's, from what I understand, cruise ships typically these days have more than enough room. I think in the case of an emergency, the situation in one of the lifeboats would be pretty crowded.
Yeah.
But I am told there's plenty. So
I think that's why they have the maritime law lawyers come out before they build the ship, and they say, show us the drawings of where all the life jackets, and not life jackets, but the boats are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff we actually know. What is the drinking age on board the cruise ship? What is the drinking age?
I want to say is it 18?
Well, why are you whispering to me? They could still hear you.
Oh, is it 18? I think it's 21.
Changing your answer. What's your final answer?
21.
21. The major cruise lines, at least the ones we've been on, it's 21. Even if you're in port in a country where the drinking age is younger. So I had somebody ask us before about cruising to Mexico. They're like, hey, when we get to Mexico, while we're in port, can we at least drink when we're only 18? But the major cruise lines, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, the ones we've gone on, they go by 21, regardless of when you're at sea, when you're in port, it's 21. So let's welcome in Susan Killstrom.
Hey,
welcome
Susan.
To the party. We're answering cruise questions. Comment if you have any additional questions, and or if you have any answers.
Happy holidays to you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And also to Susan and everybody else. So thanks for joining us. Next question. How do I find my cabin?
Oh, you can either write it on your hand, but sometimes if you do a lot of hand washing, it'll wash off. or you can take a picture of it with your phone, so you know which room your room is and what level you are.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can put on a piece of decoration on your door, so you know that that's your door, so you can see it from far away in the hallway. Like I did for the Halloween cruise, I put a Halloween gnome,
Mm-hmm.
so from far away, I could see where the gnome is, but that helps, especially taking a picture of it on your phone, and also having a door decoration that makes it stand apart from all the other doors that look exactly the same.
Okay.
That helps you find your room.
And can I add a little bit to that?
Yes.
The cruise, the cards they give you, if they give you a card, I mean, like I was saying before, Princess might give you a medallion, but the cards typically don't have your cabin on it. So it's good to know your cabin number. So what Joy is saying about taking a picture of a room, it can be good just to have that room number that's on the door, next to the door, in your photo, so you can look at that, because you might forget what your number is, especially if you're doing the drink package.
Or I just thought of this too. If you have a lanyard, you can put like a sticker where you can write your room number on your lanyard. So then.
Well, the reason they don't put your room number on there is in case somebody finds it.
So there you go.
Yeah, you might want to think twice about doing that. But I like the thought. I like the thought. But hey, that's my opinion. The other thing is, you can, another reason to get that app we were talking about earlier is they typically will have a layout of the like a deck plan, so you can see, look on it, the deck you're on, and see which way you need to go to get to your room if you get lost. Yeah.
Right.
So
or if you're a visual person like I am, and look for certain landmarks, so you know, okay, I'm by my door because I see this landmark.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Law Jones said that window clings are easy to pack. So there's a good tip.
Law Jones, you are so smart.
They cling to your window, so they don't work great on inside cabins. I'll just say that. So next question: how do I? Oh, we always said that one. How can I smoke or vape on board?
Now might be a good time to stop for your health. No, but if you really do want to know where to vape or smoke, I've never smoked, so I don't know. But you can look on your map, your ship map, and it will tell you where you can smoke. Or if you don't know that, you can also look at the map of the ship between the elevators. There's always a ship map by the elevators, you know, so it will tell you where you can smoke. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
but I think that's awesome if that's the case. Let's see. Yeah, so most areas on most cruise ships that we've been on, you can't smoke most places, including in your cabin, but there are designated areas. Also, they may tell you on embarkation day, or possibly in a port of call, that there's a certain time where you can't smoke because they're refilling the ship. That's a safety thing. And apparently I was way off base on the window clings, because Law Jones says they cling to your door. And I think Law wanted to say, they cling to your door, Danny, you dummy. But Law just said LOL.
Well, you can use magnets too, because your doors are magnetized.
Well,
they're steel.
Not always, but a lot of times they are. Yep.
Yeah.
And Susan says that most casinos have a smoking section, at least on Carnival, and that's true. The last ship we were on, Carnival Magic, actually had 2 casinos, one smoking, one non-smoking. But that's a lot of times the casino is a place. Some of the cruise lines, like I think Carnival is one, where they've kind of cracked down on saying you got to be gambling to smoke. So it's a sneaky way for them to say, get more people gambling. You got to play the slots if you want to smoke.
Oh, brother.
So yeah,
Or you could just be a really slow slot player or card player.
That's the way to maybe lose less money and smoke more. Okay, let's move on. Some of these topics maybe aren't right up our alley, but I hope we're giving some helpful information. How about this? This is a question I'm going to start with.
Okay.
I've been having you start with all of them. I think that's not fair. I think.
Here, let me read one.
Okay, you want to read? Well, here.
I'll read one. can I watch the big game, Dancing with the Stars, on the big screen? Where can I watch it? Can I watch the big game on board?
Wow, that's the first question you've read. You messed it up. Can you watch the big game? Can you watch a sports game? Football, hockey, soccer, whatever it is.
You didn't say. You didn't say football. You didn't say.
I just
Dancing with the Stars. You didn't say.
Give me those back.
I lost my privileges already.
Not always. I mean, usually if there's a really big game like a Super Bowl or something like that, you can find somewhere to watch it. But if you really are wanting to have a great experience watching it, be sure your cruise ship has a sports bar. And if you're talking about just like, a baseball game or kind of your favorite team's big game, whether it's football or any other sport,
soccer, FIFA.
Oh boy, then don't count on the fact that they're going to necessarily have that, because they usually have limited places where they show that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Can I bring my dog or cat?
No. Even if they're what's it called?
Nice.
Working dogs.
Oh well.
Service dogs.
Oh, okay. Well, no, service dogs. Sometimes they can bring them, but they got to go through a strict process. I think you're talking about what do they call them? Therapy dogs.
Therapy dogs.
That they used to allow that, but then they kind of have gotten to the point
and
where
they're really strict. That. I mean, keep in mind. No, the rules for service dogs are therapy dogs.
So be sure you check what the rules are. If you have a service dog or a service, I don't know if it's a service cat. Is there service cats? Therapy cats, maybe.
Well, I think
once again, dogs win.
Well, I think the only cat that I know of on the seas is that
Buck Naked.
The captain with the cat.
Yeah, got Bug Naked.
Is that Bug Naked?
Captain Kate McHugh.
Yeah,
on Celebrity.
Yes.
Oh boy, is the Wi-Fi any good?
Well, I've heard debatable answers, so only you guys would have to decide on that. Some people say that the Wi-Fi is really good, depending on the cruise ship, and other people say it's not so good.
Yeah, and I think it's going to vary by ship and cruise line. Now, I know Royal Caribbean recently made a big investment in getting satellite internet service, so I think you're going to find better improved, and they claim to have their Zoom was the best at sea, and it's going to probably be better now with this addition. But they've been upgrading their ships to have that service. But
yes,
some ships we haven't. We've only paid for Wi-Fi one time, and that was because we were on the ship during a hurricane. We wanted to let our friends and family know that what they're seeing on the news probably wasn't as bad as what we were experiencing.
Right.
So yeah. So here's a question. Susan is asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Susan is asking, can I bring a small bottle of flavored coffee creamer? That's a good question.
That is a good question. See, I don't know the answer to that, but I know maybe if you're going through a cruise planner or what's it called? Travel agent, they might know.
Yeah, you might want to check with them or check with the cruise line. I think if it's kind of like when you're flying, if it's not been opened. And Law Jones is saying sealed packages are usually allowed. And I think the main reason for that is they're trying to control alcohol coming on board. And clutching pearls, I must say, some people will actually try to disguise alcohol in other containers. Oh. Yes. So, I think if it's sealed, you could probably get away with it. Worst case scenario, they say you can't have it, or they take it out of your suitcase and throw it away.
Check with your cruise.
Yeah. If it's a nice to have and it's sealed, I think I would go for it.
Right.
Yeah. So we're getting down. We're getting down on time. We're getting down on questions.
Right.
You ready? You up for a few more questions?
I am.
Okay. What's on TV?
Well, I don't know right now, but there's a lot of Christmas movies going on.
No. What's on TV on the cruise ship?
Oh.
What might they find on a typical cruise ship on the TV?
They will usually find like the Lido deck camera, so you can see what's going on the Lido deck. You can also see what's happening on the captain's deck.
Mm-hmm.
and you can also see some movies, and you can also see like where the ship is located on a map of the ocean.
Yeah. So it varies over time, even with the same cruise line. And the TVs don't tend to be, unless you're getting a suite or something, they don't expect a huge TV. We've had really nice big TVs, and we had TVs like this big, practically. I mean, just tiny, like a computer monitor size.
How tiny is it?
Well, I just said it's about the size of a computer monitor. So the TV watching experience is not always the best on a cruise ship, just in my opinion. Fortunately, there's a lot more to do on a cruise ship than sit in the room and watch TV. But for the kids, they typically have a lot of entertainment. They also have, like Joy was referencing, kind of informational videos for the ports you're going to, or shopping on board, or about the cruise line or whatever. So there's a lot of that. But yeah, don't count on that you're going to definitely have your favorite news channel, or you're going to have your favorite sports channel or sports games, like I was talking about earlier. Let's see. We have another question here. See, Grandma's asking, is it a long process to check in for your cruise?
No, it is fast.
Well, I'll say it can vary, but you can do yourself a lot of favors by doing the check-in before you go to the port. Most cruise lines let you do the check-in beforehand. Get as much of that possible done ahead of time, then it's a lot quicker.
Oh, yes.
If you're really wanting to avoid the waiting time, you're usually better off going later in the boarding. The biggest crowd seem to be at the very beginning of when they're right before they start letting people on. Right. So if you try to get there at like 11 o'clock and it varies by the time of cruise, but for a cruise that's leaving like 4 p.m, if you're trying to get there before noon, that's when the biggest crowd is, I think. In my experience. But do your check-in, your documents and all that stuff ahead of time. Everything can get out of the way before you leave home, and then it's usually not too bad. Where do I put my luggage?
You can put it under your bed, or you can bring it with you if you decide to pack using a carry-on. Define the question. Clarify the question.
Where do I put my luggage after I've unpacked?
And
I'm enjoying the cruise. Most of the time, we've put it under the bed. The empty suitcases just go on the bed. It can vary by room. Sometimes there's room in the closet.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's usually under the bed. It's the best place. Space saving.
Space saving. Yep.
Space saving. Mm-hmm. Is a balcony cabin worth it?
So this is a very debatable, sometimes hot issue.
Oh boy.
So if you're going to let's say Alaska, we would really recommend it, because then you'd be able to see all the amazing, fantastic views outside your window. If you've gone to a place before, like such as Cozumel or Mexico or Barbados.
Why are you naming these places? They don't know where they've been.
Well, I'm just saying in general, if you've been to the Bahamas before, and you may, if you've already seen the scenery before, you may want to just do the inside cabin, because you're usually cheaper, or if you're trying to just save on save where you can, so you can splurge other areas, such as during an excursion or eating out, then it's fine. You can save it. You go having an inside cabin or a suite, whichever you choose, that will make you and whoever's traveling with you comfortable.
Make you happy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't think you're going to spend a lot of time on the balcony or enjoying the view or whatever, maybe you're not going anywhere, especially scenic. You're going to be at sea a lot of the time, or if the weather is going to be extremely hot and you're not going to want to be out on the balcony anyway, maybe it's not worth it. We like balconies. I like going out and enjoying the balcony something, and it's nice to have that extra space, but you can save some money.
Yep. And I like to spend one kind of whole day in the room, just because I need some time to relax.
Okay. And Law Jones, I think Law Jones is voting for the balcony cabin being worth it. So yeah, let's go. We got a few more questions. We're running out of time. So next question is, why is the pool so small?
Because the reason why pools are so small
on a cruise ship
is water weighs more than people.
Water. Well, I don't know about when it comes to me, and maybe not, but water is, per cubic foot or whatever, weighs about as much as anything you could put on a ship.
Right.
And that's also the reason why you're going to generally find them centered to not throw off the balance of the ship. And if they have hot tubs, they're going to usually do a mirror image. If they have one on one side of the Lido deck, you'll see one on the opposite side.
Right.
So they're trying to balance things out in the same way they put heavier equipment on the ship on the very low levels to help to keep the ship stable and balanced. Yeah, there's actually some thought into that. So they could, if they wanted to put a huge pool on the ship, that would make it really. That would make it really challenging. It would make the ship a little more top heavy. I'll just say.
Top heavy or bottom heavy?
Well, top of the ship.
Top. Okay, higher. Gotcha. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, we're almost done.
Oh.
We're almost done. And for those of you who stuck with us through all these questions,
we
bless
appreciate you.
That's awesome.
We're hoping you're getting some entertainment and plus you're learning.
I am learning a lot. Graham says favorite balcony is a cove balcony on Carnival. We haven't done the cove balcony yet. We almost did a cove balcony on Disney, but we typically go for the aft balconies.
Right.
But the cove balconies give you a nice kind of enclosed feel that we will probably try one of these times. Yeah. Okay. Will I have to tender?
It depends on the cruise line, really, because a lot of cruise lines. They do have long enough docks that you don't need to tender, but it depends on if the ship can fit onto the dock, whether you would need to tender or not. And they'll always let you know.
Yeah, if you're concerned about taking the water taxi or tender, as they traditionally call it, you can typically check your schedule, check with the cruise line or the port. It's usually I don't know that the length might come of the dock may come into play sometimes, but another thing that we should probably mention is that a lot of times there's some ports that the cruise lines go to that don't even have docks. They didn't, and it's too shallow really to build a dock. And even if there was a dock, the cruise ship is too big to make it safely to the dock. So they take a tender in. Like some of the cruise lines' private islands, you have to take a tender. So if that's a big concern to you, then that's something to keep in mind. And Law Jones says water weighs 8 pounds per gallon, which if anybody's just joining us now, they probably wonder why the heck Law Jones is telling us how much water weighs. But hey, watch for the replay. So last question. And it's unfortunately, I feel like we kind of already asked this question.
Okay.
So
what's the question?
Question is the drink package worth it?
Oh yeah, we've answered it.
We answered it?
Yeah.
What did we say?
Because we answered it a couple.
Kind of depends.
It depends on if you're a drinker, if you're not a drinker. Yeah. If you, that's what it boils down to. Are you a drinker? Are you not a drinker? Yeah. How much do you like to drink a day?
Yeah, I mean, I just know the rules, and I guess, like I was saying before, be aware that there be some restrictions put on you and how you go about drinking during the cruise if you do the package. But if you want to figure out money wise, try to figure out how many drinks you would probably drink on average per day compared to what the package costs per day. That's the logical way to do it, I guess. Yep. So that's been our cruise questions answered. So hopefully we found some helpful tips there. We had some great participation from our live
thank you,
audience.
Jones. Thank you, everybody who participated.
Yes. We want to thank all of you who joined us today, and thank you to those of you who will be joining us in the future. Speaking of the future, we will be back not next week, it's Christmas Eve on Saturday, but we'll be back for our regular Saturday show on New Year's Eve, December 31st at 3 p.m. And we'll have a look back at 2022 and a look forward at 2023. Also, if you haven't done so yet, you haven't purchased your Cruise Day Fun merchandise, you're almost out of time. These lovely little cruise mugs, campfire mugs, enamel mugs that we use here on set, as well as t-shirts and other items are available at cruisedayfun.com. But they will not be available any longer after December 31st. Someday we'll reset and bring back some sort of merchandise, but we're ending our relationship with our current merchant vendor. So get those while you can, because the days are ticking. So
tick, 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 tick. Sorry.
What are you doing?
I'm being a ticker.
So Yeah, thanks for joining us. Law Jones says, great show. Well, that's very nice of you to say.
Thank you,
we do our best. Thanks to everyone for watching us. And what else do we have to say?
We appreciate you. Be safe and see you next year.
And happy holidays.
And happy holidays.